Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. This is X-Plane 12 and we're going to take our very first VR flight, and in this particular flight I am going to decide whether to buy X-Plane 12 or not. Remember, this is an open beta, so it's not sort of ready for prime time as such, but I'm very intrigued to see how it feels, having now, you know, probably racked up 1,000 hours in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So with that being said, I'm going to use the VR controller. We're in the Quest 2. Let's see what happens here. Now, first of all, I've got to say performance is excellent on my system. I'm running a Stormforce 10900K with an RTX 8090. There's a lot of shimmering going on over there, which is very disconcerting. In fact, the whole thing looks a little bit rough around the edges. That's okay. This is my very first flight. And we're airborne. Wow. Flaps going up now. So, I've got to say straight away I've got two feelings going on here. The first one being that my trim actually needs... hang on a second guys, sorry. My first thought is I feel like I've gone back in time a little bit here. This sim feels quite outdated now in terms of how it looks. I mean, it looks better than X-Plane 11, don't get me wrong, and the clouds are very intriguing, although they definitely need some work because they look a bit, well, dodgy in VR at the moment. But it does feel very much like I've gone back in time here to X-Plane 11, which basically this feels very much like that. And yeah, that's the first thing I'm thinking. The second thing I've realised, I haven't calibrated my controls. In fact, you can have a look at this with me, because this is one thing I do love about X-Plane, is the UI is so much better than Microsoft Flight Simulator. It just really is. So we're going to go to my alpha controls. That's the wrong one. Oh, it's great to use a controller again. And look at this. Everything, it already knows and has assigned some various switches and buttons to the alpha yoke. Oh, that's really cool. So we're just going to do a bit of a calibration here. That's really cool. Look, it already has assigned everything to it. That's brilliant. The sort of UI within VR looks exactly the same as X-Plane 11. That's a bit of a disappointment, but hey, that's fine. Now, the second thing that strikes me right in the face whilst flying this aircraft, and I picked the 172 on purpose because I've recently flown in a real one, and I've been flying in the one in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so it makes sense. Oh, it's very shimmery. That is super shimmery. That's probably a settings issue. I'll go and have a look at that in a minute. But it's the feeling of flight is so fluid. Like, the rudder authority is so much better than Microsoft Flight Simulator, without a doubt. And just, it feels very like I'm not restricted at all. It's just, I can't explain it. There's a certain feeling of flight in VR with this sim, and I recommend everyone give it a go for that reason alone. And it's great to be back feeling that flight model in X-Plane. Let's just quickly tweak the graphics here as well while I'm at it. That's what I'm using at the moment. But you know what? I'm going to bump the AA up a little bit. Cloud detail is on maximum. So really, in fact, no, I'll go even higher than that. But it's going to probably tank performance a little bit. But it's very shimmery. So that's definitely something. But I really do... Oh, that's a bit better. That's definitely better. And performance is still pretty good, but I am running a 3090. So at this point, I can see that the clouds... Oh, we've got some rain here. Oh, wow. Oh, that is nice. Precipitation effects. That's the lib rain doing its thing. Okay, straight away, the precipitation effects are far better than Microsoft Flight Simulator, simply because I can see already that they're not predefined. It's not just an animated thing. These are lib rain effects, and they will slightly change depending on the prevailing winds. So that's very cool. I like that as well. But yeah, the feeling of flight in this is very nice. But the graphics, I mean, that's where Microsoft Flight Simulator will definitely win over the competition, without a doubt. But it's what's under the hood with X-Plane 12. I've said this from the very beginning. This, in many ways, is a real-world pilot's choice when you're thinking about doing your PPL. There's just something about the flight model that really feels natural and alive. Yeah, this feels nice. This feels good. Not everyone is going to get this sim. In fact, many people are going to think this looks awful and graphics from 1980. But bear in mind, this is completely vanilla X-Plane. My next test, because I've decided already I'm definitely going to buy X-Plane 12, just based upon that very quick, little circuit. But my next test is going to be with some add-ons, using Orbex scenery, really tweaking the graphics and getting that VR performance, to a point where it's acceptable. Having said that though, I'm in the Quest 2 and it's feeling really smooth. I'm not sure what it's going to look like on the VR mirror. So here we go, my very first landing, and it's ringing again. Love it. Oh, I'm quite relieved. I did a better job than Mark from the Sim Hanger, that's for sure. That did make me laugh. So what's my verdict? My very first raw impression of X-Plane 12 is it feels very much, sort of similar to X-Plane 11 in many ways. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, but I do think that this is the start of what is to come for this sim. For most people, would I recommend this, especially for Microsoft Flight Simulator users? I'm not sure. I think you should just try the demo and see for yourself. But thinking from sort of a real-world pilot's perspective and from an aviation point of view, it feels so good to be flying an X-Plane, and it's such a special experience in VR. But it's going to take some time. This is an open beta, and at the moment I can see some graphical glitches. But the journey is going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing how X-Plane progresses. Please do let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on this. But so far, this is enough for me to get my wallet out and to buy X-Plane 12. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you again very soon.